Hello, I'm Melody Pesh, Dream Diva, and my friend Kelly Gridley is going to, hi Kelly, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I love it when you're with me. She's going to share a dream. We're going to call this dream Mother Knows Best. That's important. So this is a very cool dream about kids.
Kids, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And sort of the conflict of not having them listen to you or whatever. So tell me this dream.
All right. Well, I had a dream with my 3 girls that we were in a cabin in the woods. So it was kind of like a camping trip, kind of out in the middle of the woods. And the front of the cabin had like a door for the entrance, 2 windows in the front. But the sides of the front of the cabin didn't meet all the way to the end. So it didn't make like a 4 corners. So there was openings, kind of narrow openings to the front porch or access, open access. So we were coming into the cabin, but then had a sudden rush to get into the cabin and secure it and close the door because there were 2 large bears after us and they were trying to get into the cabin. So as long as the girls were staying behind me and listening to the instructions I was giving them, it was keeping the bears from, they're still trying to do the big bear swipe, with the big bear claws trying to get in. But I was worried about the 2 front access points that I could not get secured.
So they were on the side, sort of front side.
Front side.
So I wonder if, it could even be, this is front, it can be future, but it may very well be present to future, and some areas where there's some access and maybe some boundaries are not quite secure. But how old are your girls, or the girls?
Oh, yeah, we're into our young adulthood. We're into 21, 24, and 19.
Okay, so independence, they're trying to gain their independence and get comfortable with who they are in their own skin. Yeah. So they're not going to want to listen to you.
Not really.
Even though there is danger, right?
They're figuring it out.
The bears are coming. And bears are often going to represent areas of the destroyer or destruction, right? So that might just be an indication that they could get into trouble if they're not listening to mama, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going to listen, you might be in trouble.
Right.
So, but the side access, we were talking about that before we got on camera, and talking about that maybe being like side by side, or the peers. You're following your peers and not listening to the instruction of mother. Now, what did you tell them to do?
I was telling them where to go, where to stand, staying behind me.
Okay.
When to move, when not to move, stand still, those types of things.
Okay, so I'm wondering if that's even about a spiritual attack, something that could be a spiritual attack. Makes perfect sense that they're going through, and unless they're really, I hate to use the word covering, but there is a protection in having the wisdom of your covering, or your parents, at least if they're wise, and they understand spiritual things, which you do. So I would say that would be an issue as well, is as long as they're sort of following some lead or some instruction, that they have a good place and they're safe, they're under protection. But otherwise, if they're just going by what their peers are inviting them to do or coercing them to do, there might be some issues with some boundaries. And this may be like right now and into the future, them trying to sort of make some space for themselves, huh?
Sounds like it. Yeah, that definitely translates for sure to real life, I think.
Now, you also said one of them you had given some advice to in real life, in the natural, and at some point she had said, "Oh my gosh, I wish I'd really listened."
Yes. So and you're like, did I hear that right? Yes. But I think as we've all been through it, hindsight is 20/20. So you hear parents or elders or that type of stuff, your guardians telling you don't do this or whatever. And it doesn't really hit you until after the fact.
Right.
You've been through something.
Right, and the only reason we do that is because we have already traveled that road, been there, done that, and had the experience. So we know how it's going to,
play
influence. Exactly. We know the end of this story.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is so interesting. So, well, I find that with my own daughter, I'm having some areas where she's saying, occasionally, I wish I'd have seen such and such. And it's just kind of funny because I'm sure you're thinking, well, I did say that.
Right.
I'm not going to say I told you so.
And I know I've done it with my mom as well. So I call her and go, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
We've all been there.
Of course.
I love that. So listen to your mothers, right?
Absolutely.
And stay away from the bears, the big bears, right? And the camping out is, too, we didn't talk about this, but sort of that primitive area where you're not in your own territory or your own space, right? So in that place, you actually need a covering or an authority, a spiritual authority where you have some protection.
Right.
So that's going to be important. A little bit like even a military op or assignment, it's like you need to be following your leader in territory where you don't have authority. Otherwise, you'll just get yourself killed.
Right. Listen to wisdom. Listen to mama. Right?
Listen and stay away from those bears.
That's right.
Well, thanks for joining us for another dream. And remember, it's more than just a dream.